This reading is for those persons born in the year of the dragon, done for year 2024. There are 5 rows in this reading. The first one, on the left, depicts the past. The second depicts issues affecting the current situation. This middle row represents actions affecting the situation. This fourth row represents offered advice. The row on the far right, a potential future and outcomes. Starting on the bottom left, this first row's first card is the 9 of Swords. This card typically represents cruelty, anxiety, spite, and slander, possibly health problems, or self-punishment and guilt. This second card in this same row is the King of Cups, reversed. Typically, it represents crafty man. Although he appears calm and thoughtful, he is actually secretive. The third card in this first row is a Major Arcana card. Its number is 17. The Star card represents insight, understanding, and hope toward the future. This indicates wishes will be fulfilled, but not always as expected. It also indicates improved health and that gifts will be given. The spiritual aspect of life should not be ignored. The fourth card in this row is the Page of Cups. This card represents a young person, or one with a youthful cast of mind, with fair hair and blue eyes. They are insightful, caring, loving, and artistic. This person could be emotionally vulnerable and desires affection. Everything in this first row represents past events. This is where we are starting from. The second row depicts issues affecting the current situation. This second row, the first card at the bottom, is the 4th in the Major Arcana. The Emperor represents a middle-aged man, replete with confidence and accomplishment. This card also represents the astrological sign of Aries. It may show an influential man whose help may be needed. To a woman, this card may represent her husband or father. The next card in the second row is the Ace of Wands, reversed. This card, in the reverse, typically represents restlessness and change for its own sake. This may also indicate a lack of confidence and a need for support of others. The next card in the second row is the 2 of Swords. This card typically indicates a friendship at a time of adversity, maybe an ally. It also could represent a decision that has to be made with no clues as to the direction to take. This card also could indicate a duel, possibly one fought with words, or a balance between 2 equally matched opponents. This last card, at the top of the second row, is the King of Coins. This card typically represents a dark man with considerable responsibility, a practical realist. This person may be a businessman, a bank manager, or one who possesses considerable wealth. He is usually married and very shrewd. Unpretentious, he is a stable personality and slow to anger. These are the current issues affecting the situation. The third and middle row depicts actions of yourself or others affecting the situation. This third row's first card, the one at the bottom, is 13 in the Major Arcana. The Death card typically symbolizes the inner self, or the part unseen. Its meaning is transformation, a change in which you clear out something to make way for something better. It also could symbolize harsh fate, which does not consider your personal feelings. This could also mean actual death, but more often it represents a major change in life. The next card in this middle row is the Six of Swords. It typically represents travel, movement away from danger, discretion being the better part of valor. This travel may be in the company of others under the same circumstances. It also may indicate a positive direction to go in. Immediate problems may be solved. This next card is the Four of Coins. It typically represents material stability, possessions, and holding on to the security you have gained. Financial problems will be overcome, and you will find yourself in an easy state of affairs with money in the bank. This last card in this row, the one at the top center, is 8 in the major arcana. The Strength card, reversed, represents loss of nerve, cowardice, or being beaten by unfair means. You must overcome your fear and find inner strength. These were the actions affecting the situation. This fourth row, the one just to the right of the middle, represents offered advice. This row's first card, the one at the bottom of the row, is the Two of Cups. This card typically represents friendships and commitment, love and understanding between two people, harmonious relationships, and emotional contentment. When the link is not deeply emotional, it can show a mutual respect, friendship, or possibly the end of a rivalry. This next card is the Three of Cups, reversed. This card, in its reversed state, typically represents taking another's feelings for granted, passion and promiscuity, or a triangle of love affairs. Perhaps the affection is not returned. This next card in this row is 19 in the major arcana. The Sun card represents the gift of life to all the universe. It also represents perfect control between the conscious and the unconscious mind. This card has nothing to hide, representing the four elements of earth, fire, air, and water. Its meaning is glory, success, joy, and achievement. Its appearance here could mean happy reunions, love affairs, pleasure, and good health. This card can signify summer and children. The last one at the top of this fourth row is the Devil card. In its reversed state, its meaning, breaking bad habits and addictions, possibly the beginning of freedom. These were suggested actions for improved outcomes. This last row, all the way to the right, is potential future outcomes. The first card in this row, at the bottom, is the Seven of Swords. It typically represents dishonesty. Though this may appear to be something unwanted, it could be a clue as to a change in behavior. Direct confrontation to an opponent will not work. To defeat an enemy, perhaps you have to be cunning or make a sacrifice to succeed. Your efforts may not be wholehearted. The next one is 12 in the major arcana. The Hanged Man. This card in reverse position typically means selfishness is holding you back. You may be using manipulation or emotional blackmail on others. You may be playing the martyr. This next to last card in the last row is the King of Wands. It typically represents a mature man who has traveled much. His hair is most likely brown, and his eyes either blue or hazel. He makes an excellent advisor, and may be a businessman. He is athletic, strong, and healthy. He is also sexually passionate. The last card, in the far upper right, is 16 in the major arcana. The Tower is typically indicative of change. The Tower appears to be solid, stable situation, but the will of the divine topples it. Its meaning is changing an outworn sense of values. freedom from old, possibly self-imposed restrictions. This change is nothing to be feared, since you will come through this experience. This reading includes a mention of possible encounters with powerful and influential men. Having little options, you may have to do what you are unwilling to do to make ends meet. The actions of others and the self, which are affecting this situation, were indicated to have been going on for over 4 years. This situation will, however, change just about the beginning of the new year.